What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Frank. It's Sunday afternoon. I'm doing all right. I yeah, doing all right. On the way up to Major's practice. So Major has wrestling practice today, and Rachel is on the way up there with Major. I'm going up there so I can watch. Um, he stayed over last night. I had Mercy today. We went over to my aunt's house and had a good time. And once again, this is just an adjustment, right? Doing all this stuff, uh, not as a team, not as a family, which it's a little weird. Obviously, this is the way that I want it, but this is the way it is, right? So I'm going to answer a couple questions that people had um, in the comments of the last video that I put out, right? So somebody asked, um, they said, Frank, what, they said, Frank, so you said if she were to come back and say, I'm sorry, um, they said, since you said that, did you leave her? Did she leave you? Or like, what's going on, right? And so I just want to make this very clear. She decided to leave, right? The only reason I said that is because obviously we both are at fault, right? There's stuff that I did or ways that I acted that I've apologized for, and vice versa. The same thing with her, right? So I said if she would come back and just apologize and say, look, Frank, I'm sorry. Rachel, we've been together. Like I said, we've been married for 11, 12 years. We've been dealing with each other for 20 years. I can count on one hand how many times Rachel has apologized to me and said, I'm sorry. One hand. And I probably, maybe like 3 or 4 times ever. And we know the same way with me. I know that, there's been times where I've said stuff to her that I shouldn't have said, times that I've done stuff I shouldn't have done, all that. I'm the type of person, I'd much rather apologize than to not apologize. Her, for some reason, she can't do that. She literally cannot do that. Which is upsetting and like hurtful also. It's just the way she is, right? You would think that this whole marriage and everything, you would think that I'm the only one that has ever done anything wrong. You would think that Rachel has never done things that she regrets or said anything that she regrets or all that stuff. That's what you would think, you know. Um, yeah, and that's her perception. That's her perception. She just, I don't know, and that's sucks, right? Because it hurts me. And I'm sure we would probably not be in this situation if she took ownership of stuff that, she's done that maybe she shouldn't have done or said that she shouldn't have said. But then again, I also think too is, maybe she just thinks that she doesn't do anything wrong. Yeah, you know. So that's what I meant by saying if she was to just apologize. Listen, I've been waiting for years for her to just come to me and say, Frank, I'm sorry for treating you the way I've been treating you. I'm sorry for giving you this silent treatment every week for whatever reason. I'm sorry for allowing the girls to step all over you. I'm sorry, like, man, that means more to me than $1 billion, to be honest with you. But I just get to the point where I realize that's not going to happen, and that's fine. It sucks, but it's fine. Can't force somebody to feel something they don't, and so I just got to take it for what it is, right? So other people were saying, Frank, it's good to see you. You look better. I feel like you're starting to move on. That may be the way it looks. That's not necessarily the way I feel, right? This is gonna take a while for me to learn how to deal with, let alone accept. It's gonna take a while. When you're led to believe that every single thing that you do is wrong or isn't good enough or isn't adequate, man, we start to believe that shit. I'm telling you, we start to believe that. And that's the way I've been living for years. 4 years, man, 4 years. I could be asked to turn off the light, and I could do just that, turn off the light, and there would be a complaint about it. I didn't do it fast enough. I did it too fast, whatever it might be. And then now imagine when you're coming into different scenarios, right? So I may look good today. That's not the way I feel every day. If I'm being honest, I'm hurting every single day, especially at nighttime when I go home to an empty house. I worked so hard, man. Please believe when I say this. I have worked so hard over the past 10 years so that we could have not just a house, but a home. I've worked so fucking hard. Man, listen to me. There was times where I'd work, like a year straight. No days off, every fucking day, 7 days a week for a year, and do that, numerous times for 2 years sometimes, without taking no vacations, none of that. Just so that my family could have security, right? Because remember, prior to this, we were sleeping on the floor at Rachel's mom's house. We didn't have nothing. And I felt as a man, that's my job to provide for my family, right? So I bust my ass. And so did Rachel. So did she. If I'm being completely honest, so did she. There was times I felt like she got to take more of a break when it comes to work. I'm speaking. There was time when she had Mercy. She didn't work for 3 years. And our lifestyle never changed. If anything, we went on more vacations and stuff, at that time. But she had to deal with the brunt of the household stuff, the kids, the cleaning, stuff like that, But at least she had, like the girls to help her with chores and, doing the dishes, doing the floor. There was times where I went when I didn't have anybody to help me with the finances. And I chose it that way. I'm the type of man, I want to take care of my house. If I feel, and I felt this with Rachel, I felt that she deserved to be at home. If that's what she wanted to do, so be it. Stay at home, take care of the kids. I'll take care of everything else, right? So I feel, I guess I put on that I feel a lot better, or that I'm doing a lot better. I'm not doing as good as people think. I'm not. It's hard. This shit is hard. This is, without a doubt, this is the hardest thing I will ever have been through. And when I tell you I've been through a lot, I have been through a lot. A lot. Like enough for 10 lifetimes. I'm telling you, I have been through a lot. And the thing is so has Rachel. And that's part of why I love her so much, right? But I also understand that's a lot of why she thinks the way she thinks and does things the way she does, right? Because of past traumas and, um, yeah, I understand that. That I understand. I also understand that nobody deserves to feel less than, right? Nobody deserves to feel like everything they're doing is wrong. Nobody deserves to feel that they're inadequate, right? My 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 mental health is horrible. Is absolutely horrible. There's so much stuff like imagine you're in a relationship with somebody and you love this person more than anything in the world, right? And you think this person is the absolute most beautiful person in the world. That's what I think of Rachel, right? And she told me she was no longer attracted to me. She didn't, she didn't love me any longer. Like that shit, that shit fucks with you. I'm being 100% honest. That shit fucks with me. Makes me feel like, man, I've gained a little weight. I've never felt like this ever, 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 ever. I've always had good self-esteem, had self-belief, all that stuff. Very good. I never thought I was less than. You know, sucks, man. It sucks. This whole shit. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it, man. It's just horrible. Like this gives me such a different respect for marriages and relationships and people that have went through a divorce, and even more of a fondness, admiration, and a respect for couples that didn't quit, right? Because that's not an easy thing to do. That didn't quit, that said, you know what? I'm not going to give up on you. I'm going to be here and I'm not going nowhere, right? Because it makes me feel like, damn, why couldn't she do that for me, right? I would do that for her. I have done it for her, right? Like, what about me isn't good enough that you won't do that? And maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. I don't know. It's just what I'm feeling, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. I'm gonna end this here. But thank you guys for giving me this safe space to speak and not be judged, um, and not be made fun of, not be ridiculed, because that's what happens, So I thank you guys. I hope you have a great night. Remember to be kind, loving, and patient. And if you're watching this, I miss you. I love you. I hope your day is going good. And I hope you're doing better than me and accepting this in a better way. All right. Have a great day, y'all. Thank you guys.